Figure out a lot
It
of things.
still can carry this whole thing, um, because if it was just up to me, there'd probably be a lot of dead air, and I'd be asked to do this one time, I think.
There'd be a lot of uhs if it was me as well.
Oh, I bet my count is 12, 13,000 per hour.
It's pretty good. That's
Yeah.
healthy.
You know what? It's like they used to say about Obama. You know, he did that a lot, and it's like, well, it's because he's so smart. He's choosing his words, and so that's what I like to go with.
Oh yeah, your brain just moving so much quicker than your lips.
Right, exactly, and that probably is a real thing for me because not that I'm smart, there's just a lot of tabs open in my brain housing group most
That's a
days.
great way to put it.
It really is. I don't remember who said that to me, but he's like, "Man, I just got a lot of tabs open." I'm like, "Goodness gracious, that's just like a browser," and that's exactly what it is.
It-
There's a lot of things
I'm
going
taking
on.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and as a small business owner such as yourself, um, it's it's necessary, it's required, right? There are a lot of things going on in any given day, uh, for me, and I'm sure yourself as well, especially all the content and stuff you're creating. There's not enough hours in the day to do all of the things that you need to do for, I mean, just customers, social media, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, to grow your business. And you've been doing a lot of that. Uh, what I kind of wanted to ask you this the other day. The TikTok content and all the things that you've created, like when did you make that decision that you were like, you know what, I've got to do it. I've got to do it right now and and go.
So it was about 3 months ago,
Okay.
3.5 months ago. We were in Scottsdale. We were listening to a guy by the name of Brandon Dawson speak, and he was just talking about the value in social media, how it's your friend, how even bad content is still content. So it's important to just get content out there. And as he's walking around the stage talking, he said, "This is how simple it is." So he turns on his phone, puts on the camera, puts the camera on himself, and he walks around and just vomits out what he's thinking about that moment, how he's what he's teaching at that moment, and boom, done. And then he posts it. And that's all it's really about is. And as a business owner, I mean, you got a lot of stuff that's constantly going through your mind that you're like, God, I wish my customer knew about that. Or, it's like, well, then if you wish that, video it right there, post it. There's no reason to put it off, and even if it is bad, like they say, it's still content.
Right.
So my hair flowing upwards and my all that it's still content.
So were you a little nervous when you first started kicking all this out?
I was nervous to start, but the second well, yes, I was, yes. And my friend, two friends, Brad and Graham, they uh they called me because I came back from this conference and there was so much information. The tabs, I my head was spinning. I don't know where to start. I don't know how to digest it. I don't know how to break it into buckets to be organized about it. They came and sat with me on a Saturday while my head is spinning, and they said, "Let's start. Let's go." So they turned the camera on, sat on a couch, and I just talked about Birmingham Broker. And then, they were like, all right, so now let's cut this up into bite-sized pieces. Let's put it online. We did it. All of a sudden, people were like, oh, I saw your video. It was great and all that. And it was just, at that point, it was instant confidence. There was no reason to be nervous to begin with. I just had to find a starting point and just start.
Right. You know what's interesting is so you're nervous and I don't really like making social media content. I despise social media, just especially from like my cybersecurity background and things of that nature. Like I just know how bad it can be, but it's a necessary evil
Hmm.
in a lot of ways. And it's very interesting to me when I sit down and think about, you start a business. How nervous are you are starting a business, right?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
making that investment, and then you look at like creating a 30-second video, and I'm like, "Ugh, I don't really want to do." But I sit on the radio an hour a day with Will and AJ and Darian, and the the more I think about it, there's already a massive amount of content that's already out there. But the idea of sticking a camera like right here and and just saying words, it makes me kind of want to throw up.
Well, let me tell you what's helped a lot. So I put everything through CapCut, which is, kind of breaks it down for me. It lets me do my intros, outros, still pictures, all that kind of stuff. But, you listen to it and you're like, oh, my voice will sound like a redneck, all this other kind of stuff. But if you click audio and you find just something cool to play in the background, even at low level, all of a sudden it sounds great. Just having any kind of music at the background at a low level just makes it seem so professional, and it polishes everything. And it takes, I don't know, it just adding a little bit of music in the background, even at low level, makes all the difference.
I bet, and it does. It really, really does, because especially if you get a good audio file with it, right? And are you a music guy?
I love music, but I am not talented at all. Gary Asher, one of our great listeners, he's actually one of your neighbors. He asked me to send a picture of me and you, and that's what I was doing
really?
at the end of the break, because he wants to get to know you. But he owns drumschool.com, and he is musician of musicians. He's unbelievable drummer.
We so want him to come and sit down with us on Breaking Bread.
Please,
he
would.
Please let him know.
Dude is awesome. But
we were talking about drums yesterday.
He tried patiently, and of course he can teach anybody. I feel like I have two left hands. Now Gary will tell you different, but I'm also the kind of person that doesn't do their homework. Every week it's like, did you practice that? And I have to hold my head down. I'm like, no, I didn't.
Right.
And I self defeat out of instruments. My mom was a piano teacher growing up and all that, but I just wasn't the piano student. Love music. I feel like I've got a good ear for it, but I don't have the patience. Just like with golf, I don't have the patience to try to learn it.
I guess the better way to ask that, do you have when it comes to like Will, he knows he's got musical Tourette's, and so if you hang out with Will for more than about 18 minutes, you're gonna say something and he's just gonna spew out words from a song from 185 years ago.
Just like when I walked in, ODB, shimmy, shimmy,
right.
Yeah, shimmy,
right.
yeah.
And so I just kind of listen to music and I just call it a day. I don't know who these artists are. I don't even really remember any of these things. And so when you're picking that audio for those videos, does it do it for you, or do you go, oh, what would be good here is live from the Red Rocks in March of 1974.
I love how he's being so serious yet throwing shade at me at the exact same time.
Well, every
It's
time
a
I'm
beautiful
listening,
I'm jealous, right? I'm a little bit jealous.
Don't be jealous.
because he's really good at it and he knows all of the history about all of this stuff, and I'm just like, I don't even know where you keep that in that brain housing group up there. But do you take your video and you know what audio you want to put with it?
So when I listen to music, I'm like, man, that'd be great in a video, or I'd love this shot in that video and all that. But there's all this copyright content with the music that you like, that you want to have on there. There's ways to manipulate it, speed it up, slow it down, but I don't go through that. I just listen to all the can options, and I just click, till I'm like, that's got something. And then just kind of try to match it up with the feel of the video.
And that's all in CapCut?
Yeah, and it's all mainly, copyright free type stuff.
The great thing about that though is that once your videos have started garnering enough attention, like using the songs that you want to use that aren't necessarily royalty free becomes possible, because once they monetize your account, if you want to use a certain song, they'll just pull a little bit of that artist royalty out of your part of that, and they'll pay the licensing, giving you the ability to use whatever music that you want. So it's not coming out of your pocket, and you don't have to worry about whether or not somebody's going to come back at you.
And that's mainly a CapCut thing, from what I've figured out. Now, I'm not technologically savvy. I try, but I know that if I was to upload it directly to Instagram, I can get into a lot of copyrighted type music.
Absolutely,
they'll allow you to do that. But I'm trying to take the easier path by creating everything, then saving it, then putting it on a site called Buffer, which will then automatically upload to Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and all that for me, without me having to break into each segment to get the right song. You know, it just
Right.
there's not enough time in the day.
Sure.
Right.
You know, it really all goes back to I'm a big Grant Cardone fan. Well, listen to all of his books and whatnot, and he said something in 10X that really like struck me several years back. I was trying to figure out what I could do to grow the business and to do the things, and you know, like JD and I have talked about, you know, you just got to start. If you want more, you just got to. You want better, you just got to start.
Your
Like,
output, increase your output.
Yeah, and that was the thing that Grant said that stuck with me. He's like, and I tell other restaurant owners when we do consulting, I'm like, listen, at the end of the day, yes, you can cut your costs, yes, you can cut your labor, you can do all these things, and it will save you money. But if you want to make money, you've got to make money, and the only way to make money is to increase your activity. You want more, you've got to increase your activity. Sure, you can save some money and it'll put a little bit more on the bottom end, but if you really want to get where you're going, there has to be an increase in your activity. And that's exactly what you've done. And it's very impressive.
I appreciate
And
it.
apparent.
I'm actually going through a book right now, and I'm trying to look up the name of the author.
Well, so
Let's catch this break.
Yep, we've got to catch a break here. You're listening to The Line with the Taste Buds, Craig Westbrook from Beham Broker, and Carrie back there. We'll be right back. We're going to get that book from you, and then I've got some questions personally about a vehicle that we've got at the house that I'd like to just roll down a hill, but I don't think that's the right way to do it.
And if you got a question for Craig and Birmingham Broker, 205-545-9950, this is a great opportunity to corner him and have him to yourself. You're listening to The Line.
Man, I love this bumper music. Carrie, you always kill it. You really do. I love it.
I appreciate that, man.
It's maybe it just plays towards my my 90s and 2000s high school years and middle school and all that sort of stuff.
That's where it comes from.
It
My
has
favorite
to.
songs.
They're absolutely awesome. You're listening to The Line with the Taste Buds from Breaking Bread Radio. We've got Craig Westbrook from Birmingham Broker, He's going to be here with us most of the day. If you got any questions for Craig, please give us a call, 205-545-9950. It's not every day that you get the time to come in for 3.5, 4 hours to talk on the radio and do all the things. You're doing an amazing job, by the way.
I appreciate
I
it.
mean, it's really awesome. We're here asking questions and just talking about small business stuff and all the things that you're doing currently to grow Birmingham Broker. We have sitting in our driveway right now, leaking oil, a 2014 Chrysler Town and Country. We've had it since 2015. I'm not good with cars. I'm really not. They're just a tool. They're kind of like guns to me. I don't get too wrapped around the axle about it. It's like I tell folks at the store all the time, I wouldn't go to Home Depot and buy a hammer and Cerakote it. I just wouldn't do it. I wouldn't paint it. It's just weird to me. But there's a lot of people that do.
Mm-hmm.
And I can appreciate the folks that the time and effort that goes into cleaning a car once a week and keeping it immaculate and all that sort of fun stuff. But if I wanted to, like I said earlier before the break, I kind of want to just roll this thing down a hill and call it a day. I definitely don't have the time to post it on Facebook or Marketplace or any of those things like we were talking about earlier. For something like that, it's got some scratches on it. I mean, it's just I'd call it a beater.
And where
It's
do
a
you
family
even
car.
and where do you even how do you even start knowing what's a reasonable price to ask for it that's going to get it out of your driveway?
Right.
I mean, that's another part of the equation that,
You go to kbb.com and then, you got to, is it good, fair, terrible?
Yeah.
What is the condition of this thing? It's got about 140,000 miles on it. But like I said, it's leaking oil right now, all the fun things. Needs some tires on it as well. With something like that, if you go and look at your website, you've got some amazing cars right there. So do you kind of filter the cars that you want to sell, or is it come one, come all? Is this something that you may look at it and go, JD, I'm going to help you push it down the hill?
That's always a possibility.
yeah,
I'm going to
exactly.
give it a good foot shove.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Like, I mean, are you going to bring the brick that we put onto the gas pedal and
Yeah,
just
that's right.
roll it out?
Do you know a lake that the insurance company's not going to look at?
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
I don't know any secret tricks there. But on the pricing thing that you're talking about, most people aren't confident in their pricing. They're just hoping. They're afraid to price it too high and not get any action, and then they're afraid to price it too low and feel like they've left money on the table. That's one of the things we do for sure. But to answer your question, we get all types of cars that come in. Our criteria is that it's a good quality car, that it has been maintained, that the oil changes and all that have been done. Now, will cars come in that are dinged up or scratched or have oil leaks, all of that? Sure. And what we do is we look at the car together. We look at the value of the car, what it's probably going to cost to fix those things, and we're going to see if it makes sense. If you fixing oil leaks and fixing scratches and all that turns out to be diminished money and something that you're not going to get back, and the value in the vehicle is just not there, we can look at wholesaling it as an option. And just, our job is to make your life easier, to make things go away. Based on what you're telling me, you have a van that needs to come down to my place. We need to look at it. There's 3 or 4 great mechanic shops within a 4-block radius of our office. We get it there, we get it looked at, we figure out what it's going to cost, to make it mechanically sound. We look at the scratches, evaluate, figure out a strategy there, figure out whether to do the money, whether we need to put new tires on it or put some pull-offs that are good quality pull-offs to make it more economical. When you're dealing with a car that might be $5,000 or $10,000, you might evaluate things a little differently than a car that's $50,000.
Right.
So we figure out the best strategy that's going to help yield you the most money, and at the same time make it convenient. So you say you want to roll it down a hill. That to me tells me you just want it out of your driveway.
Right.
So you don't want to fool with fixing the the oil leaking issue. You don't want to fool with the tires. You don't want to fool with any of it. That's what we do. We fool with it all.
I mean, it gets new oil like once a month. I mean, it's the cleanest.
It's boring now.
I mean, the oil going through it, I mean, it's new. It's refreshed a lot more than your normal vehicle.
And if we get in there and it's a real costly thing, then we just need to punt it. We need to figure out a way to get it gone and close that chapter. But we're going to make sure it's sound and quality, obviously, before we put it on the market and sell it to our buyers.
Right.
For sure. But the ease is what you're after. That's your pain point.
Oh, yeah,
the ease.
yeah.
You just want it to go away. And we will strategize to figure out a way to make it go away that's going to be in your best interest.
Okay.
One of the other things that I love about what I just listened to, and obviously we've been making this huge push for small businesses and independent places. You mentioned 2 or 3 mechanic shops right around the shop down there at Birmingham Broker. Those aren't Firestones and major national retailers that you're taking these cars to get this work done. You are a local business providing business for another local business, and it just becomes this cycle of love, from small business to small business. So you're not just supporting one small business when you go do business with Birmingham Broker. You're supporting multiple small businesses, and that's a beautiful thing.
Well, and I was going to kind of follow up with, especially the mechanic world. There's a lot of, at least in my perception, there's a lot of shady folks out there.
Absolutely.
So if nothing else, being able to leverage the relationships that you've got in terms of like, hey, who's a good mechanic? He's fair. It's not necessarily going to be cheap or anything like that, because that's just not how that world works. But that's kind of one of my big things. Like I'll get kind of paralysis through analysis going, what do I where do I take this thing? What do I do with it? And eventually I'll just get so fed up. I'm like, you know what? I don't care where it goes. Let's just go.
The shops that we work with, we've got 10, 15-year relationships with. They know we need it fixed the first time. They know it's not a scenario where we're going to throw parts at it till they get it fixed. So, their time's important, but our relationship is very important, and we need to get the cars on the road quickly. So, the plan is they get it right.
Right.
The first time.
One of the things that I'm the most proud of about the Breaking Bread radio program is that, with all of our businesses that advertise with us, we always tell folks, do business with good people.
Yep.
Good people is Birmingham Broker. Good people is Noto Roofing. And this isn't just us saying this because we want these people to continue to sponsor our show. We genuinely believe that these are great people who are going to take great care of you. And we do business with all of our sponsors.
Yep.
And we have incredible relationships. So do business with great people. Great people is Birmingham Broker. We got to slide on into another break. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back into the line on Talk 99.5. Carrie back there behind the glass on the ones and twos. Andrew McLean is off today, sampling water straight from a glacier.
Be nice.
Something that's on my bucket list. I would love to. I don't know if you just go to Alaska or if you go to Antarctica or where you have to go to drink the water from the glacier, but
Is he literally doing that?
sure,
Oh man, that's got to be great. I mean, is he in Alaska?
he's not.
Oh, okay.
He's not. I just
He's
like
doing yard work at his house. We just like to make things up.
See, I'd envision him looking at the Northern Lights.
No, yesterday
No.
we told everybody that he was off in skin diving off the coast of
Okay.
Bali.
So he's not riding a polar bear right now.
Well,
He might be.
he may be.
No, that's true. I guess so. He could be doing anything.
Could
He,
be.
he does love a slush puppy. So who knows? Who knows?
I would, I'd like to be on the radio with Andrew sometime. He's just a damn bundle of joy.
He is.
He gets riled up, and I love it.
He posted a video. His wife bought him a leaf sucker, and there he had a bunch of piles of leaves, and he was excited. He assembled it and found out what I did very quickly, that you really have to mulch the leaves first before you put them through the leaf sucker. Otherwise, it just clogs up and won't suck nothing.
So it's like a Floby type thing.
It's
except
a yard Floby.
really thick hair doesn't work. Okay.
You use that
I,
on monkey grass.
Yes, 205-545-9950 if you've got thoughts, questions, or queries. If you've got any observations from Craig Westbrook from Birmingham Broker. If you're looking to get out of your current riding into something else, don't waste time at the dealership or meeting somebody you don't know in the dark alleyway. Just go to bhambroker.com, fill out some information, have a consultation, come to an agreement, hand them the keys, and they're going to sell your car and sell your car fast so you don't have to. It's pretty much the way it goes. You don't believe me? Call and ask them your dang self.
They got some nice cars on the website too.
They do.
I mean, and the price point, I mean, it runs the gamut.
It does.
I had
We get high ones and
13,000.
low ones, but
Yeah.
our average car that we sell is $24,500.
Which
Okay.
in today's
Yeah.
market is not.
That's right. So it's everyday cars are very important for us. When you walk into the place, you see the lifts, you see the Porsches,
Right.
you see the nice cars in there, and you immediately have the impression that that's all we carry. The everyday cars is what we carry, and everything above and below as well.
We tell people all the time that, there's a good chance that you've already got somebody looking for the car that they want to get rid of, and you've got a broker for all of the other important things in your life. You've got a stockbroker and a house broker and a broker for your diamonds and all of those things. Why not have a personal broker for buying and selling your vehicle?
Yeah, and we've always had the saying that get a car anywhere you want. Our job's to help you to get rid of your old car, get you more money than trade in and all that. And I'm probably announcing this a little bit early, but in January we are going to start literally helping people find cars too. For a long time we just turned it away or just did a slouchy job at helping somebody find a car, because that's just not what we did.
Right.
But we've gained traction. We've put some metrics in place, some systems, and come January we're going to be ready to help people find their cars as well.
Is it? Go ahead.
Well, so I was, y'all kind of talked about the market or whatever. I've done a lot of Twitter or X research on the used car market, and I don't think there's a better person to speak to that. What does the market look like? What are the changes that you see coming up? Like how financing and just in general, right? Because there's like during COVID, the used car market was out of control. My truck at one point was worth like $20,000 more than what I owed on it. And so what does it look like now? Where do you see it going in the future?
That COVID thing was just an absolute freak
Right.
scenario. That I don't see that happening in a while. Like, I mean, they couldn't get parts. They couldn't manufacture parts. They couldn't get parts out there. So new cars were hard to get. Then used cars went up in value. That was just a freakish thing. And now the market is a little softer right now. We've had to adjust down on some of our cars. The extreme high end, like our 200,000 plus cars, seem to be just moving just fine. The inexpensive cars are moving just fine, and the middle area ones are too. But the market is softening a little bit. But part of that's winter. A lot of times that's just what happens in winter, especially certain type vehicles. Jeeps and Porsches and things like that. I mean, you can't replace them in spring for what you sell them for in winter.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's just a cyclical thing with those types of cars.
Are there any particular vehicles, without dogging or being nasty or anything to that effect, but like, are there if you're going to purchase a new car for the first time, or the newest car that you've ever purchased for the first time, are there brands or models that people should shy away from, as far as like, not holding their value, or just general more problems than they're worth in the long run?
Well, the good thing, when you buy them new, they're all going to have warranty.
Right.
And not to dog, like you're saying, but your German cars, they're going to depreciate pretty rapidly during the first 3 years. I mean, some
Why
of
is
them,
that?
AMGs, for example, when you start getting up the real dolled up ones, I mean, they can lose 40-50% in the first 3 years.
What?
Because people, once they're out of warranty, people don't want to pay the maintenance cost and the service cost and all that comes with it, especially on the high end stuff like that. Your Japanese cars, those are always a safer bet. Toyota, Lexus, more than Nissan, Infiniti. They're going to hold their value
Right.
better. Honda's going to hold value better than say a Nissan. But as a whole, Japanese, if you're going to buy new and depreciation, well, really any scenario, if you're going to sell it in 3 to 5 years, if you're like you are, JD, you're not really a car person. You're more of a utilitarian person.
Yeah.
So you're going to buy the vehicle. You're going to use it for what it's intended. You're probably going to drive it till it falls apart.
Yeah.
Japanese is just the way you need to go. You, on the other hand, you like driving cars? I mean,
I do.
Do you enjoy,
I do.
nothing in the world drives like a German car.
Right.
I mean, you're a part of the road. You have the excitement, the exhilaration, the sounds, the things that come with it. It just depends what your personality is. Now, there's a higher cost of ownership in having a vehicle like that, but if that's what you enjoy, and that's what you understand going into it, like that's how I am.
Right.
I tell everybody, like Range Rovers, for example. Everyone's heard of the reputation of a Range Rover. I feel like 3 out of 5 are good ones. Pray that you get one of those.
Right.
But I buy them all the time. My wife drives them all the time because I love the way they drive. There's something special about a Range Rover. I'm willing to roll the dice in that scenario and do that, versus, like, to me, a Japanese car is just a little boring for me.
Right.
But I like cars and I like driving, and to me it's a more intimate thing than a utilitarian.
Now, when I got back from Iraq, I had a couple dollars, in the bank account, and so I did get a Passat, a turbocharged VW Passat, and I absolutely loved that thing. And I changed out a lot of the parts for it because it's a VAG, right? So it's Audi. A lot of those parts are all interchangeable or whatever. Absolutely loved that thing. And it was like a sleeper. I mean, it didn't look like it'd go fast, but that thing it was heavier than you wanted, but that thing would move.
Absolutely.
And I mean, I loved hearing that turbo spin up. I mean, just loved it. But I was single and didn't have a family and all that sort of stuff. So it was a little bit different. And I think like maybe that's where I've gone with a lot of this stuff, for like more utilitarian, is that like, I didn't have a problem spending the money on car parts and all that sort of stuff when I didn't have a number of other responsibilities to take care of. But man, I loved that thing.
With the depreciation in German automobiles, like you're talking about, if somebody has just kind of first gotten that first decent sized promotion or raise, and they feel like they want to treat and reward themselves, If we're talking to about a younger person or even older person that wants to wade their toes into that for the first time, due to the depreciation, is it make more sense maybe the first couple times around to lease one of those types of vehicles as opposed to buying it? Is there any more value there? Just
If they want a new car,
right,
and that's what they're after, leasing can be a great option. You just have to make sure that mileage wise, I mean, if you're an outsider, you're a road dog, as they say, or
Right.
a salesman, it's not a good choice for you. But if you commute, 10 miles or 5 miles from the house to work and just
Right.
want something luxurious and
you're gonna
all
drive
that,
it to
yeah,
church.
sure, yeah, lease it. But if you're going to buy it, buy a 3-year-old one that's already taken the hit, that's still under warranty, that you can put an aftermarket warranty on it
Right.
because it's cheaper, because it's still under manufacturer's warranty. Put 100,000 mile warranty on it, and then drive it. And someone else has already taken the big hit.
Is that something that you guys can provide access to your customers if they're buying one of the cars that you guys are selling at Birmingham Broker? Do you guys make an additional?
You talking about warranties?
Yeah, do you make it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. We have a variety of different warranties we can do, and most of the ones we carry, especially for cars like that, are called exclusionary warranties, which means it covers everything except for, and just names the things that it doesn't, which is typically your wear and tear items.
Right.
A lot of people used to use the term that it's like factory coverage, but you just can't use that term. But it's very similar. It covers everything. It will name the things that it won't. It's like a factory coverage, but you just can't really call it that.
Heck yeah, that's great sage wisdom there. If you're looking to get into a German car, don't buy it brand new. Let somebody else deal with the depreciation. Pick it up from Craig and the team at Birmingham Broker and slap an additional warranty on it, and bring it back when you're done, and
Yeah, you're
rinse
saving
and repeat.
30 grand or something on a car. You might gasp at a warranty on a German car, like a nice performance type car. A warranty, it could be $1,500, but it could be 3 or 4 grand. But if you look at it in perspective to what it costs to fix and how much money you're saving by not buying new, it makes more sense.
Heck yeah. We're going to get into more with Craig, JD, the Chubb father, and Carrie on the line when we come back from these commercial messages. Stay tuned.
in at 12:30. Plus, I want to tell everybody how great.
Welcome back to the line on Talk 99.5. JD, Craig Westbrook, Carrie, and the Chubb Father. Takes 4 of us to replace Skippy McLean. Hopefully you think we're doing an adequate job. 205-545-9950. If you've got questions for the man, the myth, the legend, Craig Westbrook with Birmingham Broker. If you've got just general questions, if you got business and marketing, life-related questions, we're also here. We're also here for that. I scrolled upon a post on Twitter yesterday, and a gentleman had made an observation, had a thought. They were talking about the tragedy in Australia and how the Prime Minister they're getting ready to toughen the gun laws again. They think they're gonna buy back about another 130,000 guns, and people were talking about, the forum was about, do you have any suggestions for a common sense gun law that may not infringe upon our Second Amendment rights? And one of the suggestions I thought was quite excellent, and I'd like to get y'all's thoughts on it. And that is for one of the associations that does gun stuff to begin having a optional firearms and instruction class that you actually get credits for when you're in high school. For people who don't necessarily have the opportunity to be around real guns, their parents don't, whatever, or whatever the case may be, but they know every gun that you can pick up and use on Call of Duty or one of these other first-person shooter video games that are popular. Really, all they know of guns is pointing a fake one at somebody and taking a life that isn't real. But the thought struck me as something that I think is important. And we asked at the beginning of the show. I think it's a great idea to have young people sign up for some sort of selective service that's maybe not the military, but some organization that can help provide them some training, help bring back some national pride, work through some issues, some responsibility, some structure, et cetera, et cetera. I think that this whole idea of having gun instruction and safety and training as part of a high school curriculum is not a terrible idea. JD, what do you think?
I don't disagree with that at all. They used to do that in school, but we've gotten so far away from any of these things. Even like Boy Scouts, and they used to have that as well.
Yep.
That's kind of fallen out of favor. I think at the end of the day, there's a level of we've got it too easy in this country, and people aren't interested in doing anything for themselves anymore. And so what you end up with is I think it's a big reason why there's not a lot of these programs. Everybody's the country is so litigious, and everybody's worried about getting hurt, this and that. And I think it'd be a great idea. I really do. But it's gonna be a culture change.
Absolutely.
We've pivoted away from the roots of this country and being self-made and doing it yourself. And it kind of goes to the small business thing too, right? Like people aren't willing to take risks, and they're so scared of everything.
I think people are so incredibly afraid to fail. And like, if you learn from a mistake, then it's not a mistake. It's a growth and learning opportunity. We're going to get to that, and I want to get Craig's thoughts on this whole thing and the rest of JD's. But we've got Miss Donna on the phone, and she's got a question for Craig about Birmingham Broker, so we want to make sure we get her that opportunity. Donna, welcome in, baby. How are you?
Hi, Hi. Good morning. I think it's still morning. Good afternoon if it's afternoon. I've been going to call Birmingham Brokers, but I thought I would ask. My parents died, and I have a car that I think is worth, a little bit of money, and I wanted to sell it, but I don't want to sell it like myself. It's a 2006 Chrysler PT Cruiser convertible and turbo. Very nice little car, and I believe it's only got 53,000 miles on it.
That's perfect for us, Donna. I'm sorry for your loss. We get a large amount of inventory from estate situations. We work with estate attorneys that bring us cars. We work with the conservator, when families are bickering and can't figure out what to do with their stuff. But we are very, very versed in estate situations with letters of testamentary, the power of attorneys, the death certificates, everything that's needed to sell and convey something like that. But when you're going through situations like that, there's grieving and all the other things that come in this. There's a huge pile of stuff to deal with. This is probably the second largest item financially to deal with in these types of situations, and we are happy to take it off your plate. It's one less thing you got to worry about. We've sold a lot of PT Cruisers. They're
it's also cherry red.
Cars.
It's beautiful.
that sounds ideal for something like that for sure. But no, that's we're very comfortable in those, and we can certainly ease you of that burden.
Would I just bring it up there and show it to you, or
Absolutely,
like you said, and let y'all look at it?
Yeah. We work by appointment, and you just need to call. And by the way, we haven't even mentioned our phone number. If you have a pen, I'll tell it to you, but I'll just say it anyway. But it's 205-716-1269. When you call in, you'll ask for Peyton or one of the guys. There's a button that you push for consignment. But you just schedule an appointment. We need 15 to 20 minutes together. That's all we need. We're going to look at it. We're going to paint the entire picture. You're going to know where you stand, what you should expect out of the whole scenario. And most people after that just say, all right, well, I'm going to leave my car. We'll spend 5 more minutes. We'll do paperwork. The majority of people that come down here for these appointments usually have somebody follow them, because they're optimistic that everything's going to work out. We're going to get the ball rolling. They're going to like what they hear.
Yeah, I thought about trying that because I believe it's a cute little car. I mean, it's really showy, and I think it might be of interest to people. So I was going to let my husband follow me, and hopefully you would be able to, sell it, and somebody could enjoy it, because it's just not a car for me. I'm 60 and I'm a conservative, so I drive a minivan.
I understand. Yeah, no, that's great inventory. We'd be honored to help you sell it.
Okay. Well, I will be in touch with you, and thank you very much, and y'all have a blessed day.
Thank you, Donna.
Bye-bye.
There you go. Just like that, 205-545-9950. Get the skinny straight from the proverbial horse's mouth. And I tell you, here shortly, you guys are getting a brand new place to eat just around the corner.
Do tell.
Our buddy that owns, I'm drawing a blank. JD, what's the name of the Boudin place? The Cajun place?
Oh, Roll
Cajun Boudin.
Yeah.
Is getting ready to take over the former spot
Sweet tea?
of the Iron City Grill.
Okay.
And he has fantastic Cajun food. Not a blood sausage guy. His Boudin is out of this world.
So good.
And his Boudin egg rolls, stop it.
Okay.
And his king cake.
Yeah, his king cake's money.
Maybe
It's
the best on the planet.
I like that.
It's every bit as good as what you get from one of the places in Nolens, for sure. Charles, we see you, and we're going to get to you as soon as you get back. Thank you for calling and wanting to talk to Craig Westbrook from Birmingham Broker. You are listening to the Taste Buds, filling in for Andrew McLean on Talk 99.5. Hey, watch us on YouTube, Real Talk 99.5 TV. We'll be back, Lord willing. Y'all join us.